All right, well, welcome to our first lesson online. This is Mr. Patel. Wanted to welcome you to it and show you exactly what we're going to be doing here. So here's my question up on the screen. Why do we have a flipped classroom? Well, first I need to define a flipped classroom for you. And by the way, I do expect that you take notes. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of this video, but I want you to jot some notes down here. Okay, so you may want to copy what I'm writing on the screen as well as add some other notes of what I'm talking about. So let's talk about what a flipped classroom is. So a flipped classroom is an idea that basically reverses the traditional approach of teaching by delivering content often online, which we'll come back to in just a second. Often online. Not always online. We'll talk about that as well. Outside of the classroom. Outside of the classroom, which makes time for activities during class. All right, so I hope that doesn't sound too revolutionary. It is probably going to be different than what you're used to, but I do want to add a couple little notes here that when we're talking about often online, it's kind of what you're doing now, and that really what that means is video podcasts. But sometimes it's going to be reading notes that are not obviously online. And so let's talk a little bit about the benefits and the limitations and how we're going to overcome those limitations of this model of teaching and learning. And then I'll talk a little bit about my expectations for class. So let's talk about the benefits. What are the benefits? The benefits of using a flipped classroom. So the first thing is that it allows for more engagement in class. So if you're one of those passive learners, which I don't find to be effective for most people, you won't have a chance to hide. Really, you're going to have to engage in class, and it allows you to do that in class. So it allows for more engagement in class, or in the classroom, in class. It allows us to engage in better activities. And when I say activities, remember we are in a science classroom together, so we're going to do more labs, more building of things. It also allows for more time for in-class help. So we will be dealing with some difficult concepts this year, and it allows us to work together in class so that you don't have to work as hard after school, at least in biology. Difficult concepts. And I can help immediately, which means that I can help you write in class almost simultaneously as you might get confused in class. I can help with that. The other benefit that I want to just mention, I'm going to use a slightly different color here. Another benefit for the use of the videos, anyways, not necessarily the reading notes. But in the same, you can apply the same ideas to the reading notes that you'll get. I'm going to make this number 5. That you can pause, rewind, and replay videos as you need to. And the 6th thing is that you can stream them. Oops, move that back. to stream via YouTube or Google Classroom, which I hope you have the app for now. If you have a smartphone that you've downloaded Google Classroom, that you signed up, done everything you need to do on Blackboard for the first night. And those are the benefits. And obviously I think that there are others, but that's a pretty good list to begin with. But let's talk a little bit about the drawbacks. So this will be different than what you're used to. And so what are the limitations of using this? And the only reason I bring this up is because you might find yourself struggling with this, and we need to think about what those struggles are beforehand so we can get around them. So there is this idea of a digital divide, which simply means that some of you may or may not have the technology to be able to stream these online. Let me just make a note that I will do my best to get these online as early as possible to give you as much time as possible so that you can use time at school in the library or after school in my classroom with the laptops to get ahead, so that you're not waiting to the last minute. But again, you can stream these things through your smartphones if you have a smartphone. And if this is a real concern for anyone personally, please talk to me about it. Send me an email, write me a little note, give it to me in class, that you think that you're not going to be able to access the videos digitally. The other thing, which I think that everyone will be able to overcome, but we will have a little bit more struggles with, is personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. So this is a little different of a model, and the idea is that you need to be responsible for being prepared for class. This isn't something you can let go and go a week without having completed this homework. You need to come prepared to class. So you really should think of this more as class preparation instead of homework, because if you're not prepared for class, you're going to be lost during class, and you're going to not understand what we're doing for 90 minutes during class. So you need to make sure you're prepared by having done the class prep in this flipped classroom model, so you can get the most out of our 90 minutes together. So let's talk about what my expectations are of you, and I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. Use a different color here. So what are my expectations? What do I expect of you with these? So first off, I want you to be, I was talking about this just a minute ago. Be prepared for class, which means having done the reading notes or watched the video. But what does that really mean? That the first thing is that that you've completed the reading. When I say completed the reading or watched the video, I don't mean just kind of have it on in the background or skim the reading. I mean, I want you to engage with it. There's a reason that I'm giving it to you. I don't like to give you a lot of work, but what I give you is meant to be meaningful. And not just have watched it or done the reading, but that you've taken notes by hand. Now, I know some of you have some reasons for perhaps typing your notes. If it's a legitimate reason, that's fine by me, but I prefer that you handwrite these notes. And then lastly, that you come to class with a hard copy of your notes. So none of this, it's on my phone or it's on my iPad. I didn't print them out. I expect you to print out notes. If you don't write them by hand, that's only if you have a specific exception. But most of you will be writing these by hand, so bring that note sheet with you. I will tell you that what you can expect is something that I will write out here as what I would call a prep check. A prep check. So These are open note, so if you bring your notes with you, you'll be fine. But note that this is not the same as homework. So if you're not ready for class, having not prepared for class, this is not something you can make up the next time I see you in class and take a late grade. If you're not prepared for class, you're taking a poor grade, most likely. So that being said, I see that I'm just over 10 minutes. I'm going to stop here. And I hope that you've done this and you've taken notes and you come prepared for class.